Slaylona.
Hey guys, what's up? It's me. It's Friday morning. It's 6 in the morning and I'm heading out to TanaCon. I know they said that they're not starting registration until 9 o'clock, but they're saying that people can line up as early as 6, so I'm trying to get there early because I know the line's going to be super long. Literally right after I'm done with TanaCon, like registering, I have to like rush back and go see Nathan's panel because his panel starts at 11:30, and I think I'm probably not going to get into registration until maybe like 10ish, depending on like where I am in line. So yeah, that's gonna be an issue probably, but we'll figure it out.
They opened the line for registration at 6 in the morning. I got there at 6:30 on the dot, and this is what the line was already looking like.
2 hours later.
So this is at about 8:30 in the morning. They started registration 30 minutes early, which I appreciate, but this was the line for it.
Okay, hey guys, so I'm back in my hotel. I was actually waiting in line to go through security, so I have my badge and my meet and greet wristbands and everything, but I couldn't do it. That security line was wild. Okay, so now I'm on my way to Nathan's panel. As soon as I'm done with that, I'm heading right back over to where TanaCon is, and I'm going to be meeting Sarah Basca, and I'm super freaking excited, but I'm so stressed because of that line. I don't know how I'm gonna get through that by 3:30 because, or no, by 3, because that's when her meet and greet starts, but you're supposed to be there 30 minutes earlier. I don't know how I'm gonna get through that line again. Pray for me.
2 hours later.
So the line I'm currently standing in is the security line, quote unquote, where we were gonna get our bags checked, etc., but there's no security, as you can see.
Still out here in the TanaCon parking lot.
I literally was like, if we ever get inside.
Literally, like, there's 20,000 people here.
Wait, what did she say?
A mess. An actual mess. A mess. Sis, there's no room. Where do we go? We have to tell everyone back there to back up.
No, I don't think we should back up. Why are we backing up? I want to know where we're at.
Honestly, she should just get Tana to come out here and tell us to back up. They'll fucking do it.
We're trying to back up!
They've been screaming at us to back up. Tell me why. There's a ginormous gap right there. Right there, there's a gigantic gap. No one's backing up, but they're telling us to back up. I don't get it. Doesn't make sense.
So I muted this part because it's very loud and you can't really make out what the woman in white is saying, but basically she's a representative from Good Times, and she was just kind of up there beating around the bush saying like, oh, we're so overwhelmed by everyone's support and we didn't realize the event would have this big of a turnout, but all the meet and greets that were gonna happen today are going to happen tomorrow. And of course everyone's pissed and like cursing at her, and it was crazy.
What do you guys have to say about this?
Okay, so we waited like 5 hours, and at the front of the door, like almost there.
Literally, there's the door.
Almost there.
There's the door.
Yeah, now it's canceled.
What do you have to say?
10 steps away, not away. Nana, I love you, but I want my money back. Oh yeah, how many people would be here?
So I just want to know how they're gonna do all the meetups like on the same day. That's my question.
People are gonna come, they sold the tickets.
Yeah.
Like,
I just know, but my thing about it though is like, I feel like they're just using that to cover their ass because they don't know like what to say like today. No, it's over.
it's over?
That's why she did her whole like thing. Like we didn't know like all the meetups that were supposed to happen today are happening tomorrow. That's why she said that. That's why she said that. Oh my god! Like even if I wanted to get out, like I can't get out. Like I'm stuck. Honestly, this is like chaotic. Like there's the door right there. Everyone's screaming.
So there's the merch booth. There's the stage. As you can see, it's very like tiny. I don't know how they even thought 5,000 people could fit in there. There's one hallway that's very tight. There's the back end of the hallway. And then there's the front of the hallway. There's one booth. And I'm heading towards the main walkway. The thing about the main walkway is you can only walk in one direction. It was leading people outside through the lobby, and that is the only security guard I'd seen within the past, 3 hours.
Oh, your passage is gonna be outside.
Oh no, like they dumped everything out.
So by the time you guys are watching this, I'm pretty sure you would have already seen Shane Dawson's docuseries he posted on his channel, the 3-parter. Yeah, that was very interesting, and my wig is gone. I wanted to wait a while before making this because I knew that if I had said something like the day of, everything I had to say would have been out of anger, which I'm glad I didn't do that now. But I felt like I wanted to say something about the situation, mostly because it was a very frustrating day in general, and also because I spent my money and I wasted my entire day there, and I want my clout from this. But I think the main issue with the entire day that I had is the capacity size. Even when I had gotten there at 6:30 in the morning, I was already saying how is everyone gonna fit in the bottom of a hotel? Like, I was so confused. Like, even like me being the 300th person in line, if that's even what I was at that time, I was looking at the line and I'm like, I'm confused as to how this is going to work. And obviously I watched the docuseries, and knowing what I know now about the situation, it was very unbiased. He told both Michael's side and he told Tana's side. While I don't think it's completely her fault, I do think there was more she could have done in the situation. You are like messing with people's hard-earned money. Like, these are people who work hard for their money and they love you and they believe in you, and they're spending that money on you. And when the whole situation happened, like, she said absolutely nothing. And I think that's another thing that just kind of like was just very like irresponsible to me, I feel like, because when people have a very like passive reaction or lack of reaction to a situation they have some responsibility over, it's disappointing and it's frustrating, and I think it's kind of wrong. She was 19 years old. Like, she doesn't know how to run a convention, but at the same time it's like you are messing with people's time and people's money. And the fact that like this whole convention was basically an act of revenge, and it could have been planned better. It could have lived up to its hype. It could have lived up to what everyone said it was going to be on the team, including Tana, including Good Times, including everyone involved with it. I feel like just like not smart decisions were made, and that just like led to something very chaotic and out of control. And it could have been controlled had there been more time, more money, more planning behind it. But Tana was so obsessed with having it down the street from VidCon and having it the same week as VidCon and having it compete with VidCon that it just turned into a gigantic mess. As for her fans that were there, I feel like horrible. Like, I feel so bad that they had to go through that, especially like kids that made their parents bring them. Now their parents are never going to take them to anything again, and like that sucks, because that one event was a disaster. And now whenever little Timmy wants to go to another convention or another concert, oh no, do you remember what happened at TanaCon? No, I'm not doing that for you. And that sucks. Another issue I had with the event was security. The whole time I was there, I didn't feel safe. And that's really scary, especially having that many people around one particular space. that situation could have turned so ugly so fast. And there were girls saying in Shane's video that when the security that was inside the hotel were telling people to leave, they thought there was a shooter. And that's scary. Of course, it's like the time we're living in now where we actually have to think about these things. But the fact that there was no security around outside where majority of the people are, that was just a very it was just scary. And it was in the back of my mind. It wasn't something that I was adamantly thinking about, but it was still there, this is a possibility that it could happen. In the last part of the third part of Shane's video series, he basically got a hold of the contracts that were signed for the event. So the contract that was signed through the Marriott, the contract that was signed through Veeps, and basically both contracts have Michael's signature on them. He signed both contracts, yet he didn't read the fine print. And I'll leave the link down below, but basically Shane was saying that the contract stated the maximum capacity at the hotel was 1,000 people. So if you knew the capacity was 1,000 people, why would you try to squeeze 5,000 people in there? And the whole point of the event was to have it be a free event. If you wanted to pay the $65 to get extra stuff, then you could do that as well. But I can't remember the exact number off the top of my head, but it was something 250 to 400 tickets were actually free tickets. The rest of them were actually purchase tickets, the $65 package. So they had about 4,000 and something people who actually purchased tickets, and the rest were just people who got it online for free out of that 5,000, which doesn't make sense. Why would you have more people who purchased their tickets than people who were able to get their tickets for free? And the very last thing Shane mentioned in that video is Michael signed a contract with Veeps, which was the ticketing company, and the contract stated that if there was a chance that refunds needed to be issued, the refunds would come solely from Good Times, and Good Times is Michael. So basically, all of our refunds are coming straight from him. So I can understand what he was saying and complaining about, oh, I'm going to lose everything. Yeah, you are going to lose everything because you need to pay people their money back for the scam you tried to pull. Am I supposed to feel sorry for that? You knew, you could have avoided this. You could have put more time and effort into the actual event, and you chose not to. And now it bit you in the ass. I'm waiting on my $77. The whole situation is frustrating. I understand that there was a lot that was promised that didn't happen. And I feel like that's another thing, is if you're sitting here, you're hyping up the event and you're saying, oh, this is gonna happen, oh, that's gonna happen, oh, X is gonna happen, Y is gonna happen, Z is gonna happen, and it doesn't happen, that makes you look even worse. But overall, I don't think it was completely her fault, because of course she doesn't know how to run a convention. That's why she hired someone to run the convention for her, and he screwed her over. He screwed all of us over who bought tickets. He screwed all the creators over who were invited to be a part of the event. I think that that's messed up. I think I've said all I needed to say. Leave me your thoughts and stuff in the comment section down below. If you were there, how do you feel? If you weren't there, would you come to TanaCon? I don't know. How do you think the situation should have been handled? Do you think it should have been handled any differently? Who do you think is to blame for the situation? I would love to have a conversation about this, honestly. If there was another TanaCon ever happening, I'm not sure if I would go. I just think everyone was believing in this event, and it didn't turn out the way everyone wanted it to turn out. So I don't think I would spend my money again going. Yeah, That's all I have to say. TanaCon sucked.